Hey, it's DJ. Welcome back to Deathbells. Let's go ahead and get started. So in Deathbells, we are trying to get all happiness for all of our dwarfs into these two states of the most happy. And for the extra challenge, this fort has been the embark we picked is a terrifying area. So if we go upstairs, we can see this line here between the darker color and the lighter color. This is terrifying. This has rain clouds that do something horrible to us. I haven't figured out yet what. And then in the lighter area, this is a joyous wilds. So magical, dangerous area. So we'll see if we can get people to be happy here. Let's go and take a look. We were just putting in some actual bedrooms. Every bedroom needs to be walled in, floored. We're going to need to start probably putting some decorations in here, probably statues in every single one. Now it would be great if we can get our skills up. Now we should have, I think this was, let's go out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have, keep on moving around a little bit. Get zoomed out one more time so I can see everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 22 rooms. We have a population of 25. We should probably make another batch of rooms here. We need to start making statues. I think we just did complete. Let's go make sure. Yep, we just completed a trade because everything is sitting here on the trade deck. It looks like, did we complete a trade or are we going into, let's go look. I think we just completed this trade. It's there's a in the latest patch. Let's go look at that. There's a bug right now. It's a known bug where everybody's picture, everybody is naked, and I think this is the icon that is shown when people are dead. So their color's wrong and they're naked, which they are not really. It's just a graphical bug. Yeah, see, we have clothes on. Everything's perfectly fine. Except in this view or in other views that show, like right here. That one's a known bug. So, okay, let's try and make some people happy. First off, I'm gonna go ahead and get a section here for another row of bedrooms. We will need the hallway in front of the bedrooms. And then we're gonna need a bedroom by 3, takes 5. Okay, so that'll give us another set. We'll do a bedroom set here, we can do a bedroom set, hallway, and then a bedroom set, hallway kind of thing. So, but we get 22 every single time we do that. And this is the end of the edge of the fort on both sides. So go ahead and start mining that out. Let's place a reoccurring order. Or let's see, we have coffers. Let's make cabinets. Every room is going to need a coffer and a cabinet. Let's put that at 4. And rock cabinets less than 4. let's also start the rock statues. Now I'm kind of torn because I could focus on the cabinets and the coffers for right now and get my skills up so that when I'm making the statues, they're of higher quality. Let's do that. Let's wait on that. We can also so we have stone cutters. Let's make some specialists. Bimble and Reg. Oh no. We have 3 workstations, so I think we want to get some skills up in stone cutting. Now there's 2. Let me just verify which one's which because I can never remember that one. There's so many little details in this game. Dwarf Fortress, Wiki. Amazingly, it looks like a wiki is currently down. So let's do this. Stone cutter versus stone crafter. Stone cutter and stone crafter are distinct. Stone cutter is responsible for smoothing natural stone floors and walls, carving fortifications, creating mine carts, producing stone blocks. Okay, so that's why we have all the people making the blocks, and that's why the skill is getting more and more. Stone crafters are responsible for creating household items. So we want stone crafters. That's what we want. So let's go labor. Those are the 2 that always get me, stone crafters versus stone cutters. Let's go ahead and add a work detail. Come down here to stone crafting. Done. Stone crafting. Might as well make it one word. Only selected. Let's make you and Vebok. We want one more. Let's do Onal. And then let's go with that. Everybody has the experience because we've been smoothing so many floors. That's why we see here everybody is a novice because everybody ran in and has been smoothing floors. Looks like we have a legendary. We'll just keep these as is so that they're making blocks, but not have everybody focus on making blocks constantly. That's a bummer, Kalenite. Uh-oh. It's Cloud of Evil. And it's probably, I already probably missed the Cloud of Evil. That's all right. So we also can make a stockpile over here. This will be custom furniture, all, none, and cabinets. We're going to name this one cabinets. Okay. And then we'll come in here to our main stockpile, furniture. Come down and we'll kill out cabinets. We're already getting the cabinets built up over here. So let's go ahead, build furniture. Let's put chests in these rooms. We should go look at what the quality of these rooms are here in a second as well. So Zuthon, let's go look at, well, we can just go here. The easiest way to tell is go to places and look at one of these bedrooms that's assigned to somebody. Go to that person. Go to that person. And go to rooms. Okay, it's a modest quarters right now, so over time we'll try and improve that. Okay, yeah, the elves are going to leave soon, so we already completed that one. We can also put in the furniture for the cabinets. What would be nice is if we could get some, like, we're making those platinum coins. If we can get some, find some gold or something like that, make some statues out of gold. Then it'd be metal crafting. One thing we have to keep an eye out to as well is it's really easy to get your dwarves just too busy, and so they don't have relaxation time. And that will directly affect our happiness. So I kind of want to take it at a medium pace. We should go see why. Who's the unhappiest? This is Zazit, the planter. I think we'd looked at Zazit before. Pray to Meton. No. Acquire object. Eat a good meal. Fight. Be extravagant. Help somebody. We might want to put Zazit in the military for a little while. They're on training. We should go to laborers, planters. Since Zazit, okay, we do have Bimble is still doing planting right now. So while Zazit's off getting a little bit of fighting out of his system, Bimble can do the planting. I should probably also, I barely ever used clay. It's better once you have some magma available so that you're not using your coal and coke for that. So maybe I should also, there's just so much to do. And I would easily fall into the immediate trap of everybody is so busy doing stuff that nobody has time to relax. So we will just hold the line for a minute. Okay, so we have this area cleared out for, let's go ahead and get, what do we have? We have some migrants coming in or not? Yes, we do. So we're going to need to build out this second set of bedrooms, but let's go look at the migrants first. Duma, a shearer, new arrival, talented shearer, proficient engraver, has stonecutter and stone carver. That's the third one, is stone carving. Does not trust others. She has an active sense of humor. She tries to do things correctly each time. She can easily fall in love or develop positive sentiments. She often feels discouraged. She sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. She has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others. She tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. She can handle stress. She does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She often gives her knuckles a good crack when she's thinking hard. How big of a migration do we get this time? We didn't have migrations for the last couple, so this one might be a little bit bigger. Stonecrafter, novice appraiser. He's frustratingly sloppy and careless with every task he sets to carry out. He is often nervous. He lives a fast-paced life. He has a sense of duty. He tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions. He often feels discouraged. He does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. He's slow to trust others. He occasionally overindulges. He's stubborn. Can you imagine if this was, instead of having like a resume, or this was your LinkedIn profile of and it just described you, and you didn't do it yourself. It was just filled out for you, and it was accurate. That would be yeah. Toulon personality. She is sloppy in her living space. She likes to brawl. She sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. She tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. She doesn't try to get things done perfectly. She tends to think before acting. She's quite polite. She tends to be passive in discussions. She does not easily fall in love and rarely develops positive sentiment. She's occasionally overindulges. Zon, a milker. I'm doing fine. She is greatly moved by art and natural beauty. She is troubled by this since she dislikes the natural world. She presents herself modestly and frowns on any flashy accoutrements. She's very slow to anger. She tends not to be swayed by emotional appeals. She tends to assume the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She doesn't often feel envious of others. She has little interest in joking around. She generally acts impartial and is rarely moved to mercy. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her. She has a greedy streak. So one thing I would suggest, I'm playing with the 200 default dwarf setup. If you want a deeper connection with all your dwarfs, I would suggest dropping your size of your fort down to whatever you're comfortable with for being able to make that emotional attachment. That's one thing between like Dwarf Fortress and RimWorld. RimWorld, you have your initial 3, and on a rare occasion you might get up to 20 in RimWorld. But since it's so highly focused on that small batch of people, you get more of an emotional attachment. The other thing you can do if you're looking for that in Dwarf Fortress is pick out specific dwarves and start following their lives, or pay attention to specific things. It's like in Pickrung with Odie. Odie, a recognizable character from the Garfield world, and I had emotional attachment to Odie in Pickrung. You can also do that with dwarves and pick a dwarf and follow that dwarf. Follow that dwarf's family. Pick that. If you're looking for that emotional attachment. If you're looking more for something like Factorio, where you're just building, you just go with your 200 dwarves. You can pay attention to them, but you're not really focusing down and getting that deep emotional attachment to any particular dwarf. They're more workers for you, kind of thing. That's just a suggestion if you want that deeper, more emotional aspect. Looks like we got another Polt. Oh, that's cool graphics. I hadn't seen the Polt graphics yet. Let's look what the cows look like now. Looks like a cow. Dayton. Always deal fairly. Proficient pump operator. Novice waxworker. Novice stonecutter. He's given to flights of fancy to the point of distraction. He is very curious, sometimes to his detriment. He doesn't often feel envious of others. He has little interest in joking around. He tends to think before acting. He tries to do things correctly each time. He tends to share his own experiences and thoughts with others. I also thought it was funny as well that in the last episode, I even titled the episode, "Wow, that is one ugly unicorn." And then within 2 days, new graphics were released that changed the unicorn graphic. So I found that funny, as I find most things funny. Sarvesh. Sarvesh is a tanner. Sarvesh, she tends not to reveal personal information. She doesn't try to get things done perfectly. She doesn't handle stress well. She has a greedy streak. She does not go out of her way to help others. She tends to assume the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her. These are the ones that are going to be challenging to make happy. A peasant. I nod. There's nothing like a good friend. He hates vows, obligations, promises, and other binding elements that could restrict his life. Though he is conflicted by this for more than one reason, he forms strong emotional bonds with others, at times to his detriment. He is given to flights of fancy to the point of distraction. He often acts with compassion. He is quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. He's grateful when others help him out and tries to return favors. He does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and he is conflicted by this as he values artwork and its creation. He likes to take it easy. He can handle stress. He's not inherently proud of his talents and accomplishments. He doesn't tend to hold on to grievances. He generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. When he's thinking, his body becomes very still. He talks to himself when he's trying to remember something. Yes, yes, yes. He tends to stretch his body when he's thinking. When he's thinking, his body becomes very still, and he tends to stretch his body when he's thinking. It's like a still tension. Eineth, accomplished blacksmith. Yay! The best way to get what you want out of life is to work for it. He has a strong sense of duty. He only rarely tries to assert himself in conversation. He's a pessimist. He would never pass up a chance for a good fist fight. He is trusting. He does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and he is conflicted by this as he values artwork and its creation. He generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. He tries to keep his things orderly. He isn't particularly ambitious. He tends to think before acting. He bites his nails when he gets bored. Wow, we're already up to 33. We're going to need those other bedrooms. Asen, a clothier. That's good. She has the ability, she feels best when everyone gets along without any strife or contention. She's very stubborn. She could be considered rude. She tries to keep her things orderly. She is brave in the face of imminent danger. She is curious and eager to learn. She does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She has a greedy streak. She generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She occasionally overindulges. She is slow to trust others. Now, why did I go, she feels best when everyone gets along without any strife or contention? A little bit of strife and contention, a little bit of disagreement pushes the boundary and allows you to do things that you wouldn't be thinking. If everybody agreed all the time, you get kind of stagnant. Lore, a peasant. I prefer to be by myself. I can do it myself. She has an overinflated sense of self-worth. She dislikes helping others. She is slow to trust others. She is stubborn. She generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She tends to not be swayed by emotional appeals. She tends to avoid crowds. She's quick to anger. She's a friendly individual. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her. She talks very loudly when she's exasperated. Oral, a peasant. I'm doing all right. Just all right. He cuts any corners possible when working on a project, regardless of the consequences, rather than wasting effort or resources. He only rarely tries to assert himself in conversation. He doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living. He tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. He tends not to reveal personal information. He often feels discouraged. He is quick to anger. He isn't particularly ambitious. He has an active sense of humor. He generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. He scratches his nose when he's trying to remember something. Nomal, a pleasant peasant. It is so great when everybody just gets along. No. She is grounded in reality. She actively avoids exciting or stressful situations. She often acts with compassion. She tends not to be swayed by emotional appeal. She tends to be passive in discussion. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her. She prefers that everyone live in as harmoniously as possible. She doesn't cling tightly to ideas and is open to changing her mind. That's the key right there. That key right there. She doesn't cling tightly to ideas and is open to changing her mind. You can have, what is that saying? Strong opinions loosely held. Means you could be convinced of another way of thinking about things. She is trusting. She's quick to form negative views about things. She enjoys the company of others. She is generally quite confident of her abilities when undertaking specific ventures. She runs her fingers through her hair when she's nervous. So I think she's fact-oriented. She's good with language. She avoids excitement. Good spatial sense, poor memory, merciful. She prefers that everyone lives as harmoniously as possible, but she can have her mind changed. See, that's the kind of thing that you key in on of, at some point, this fort, they're going to be like, we want a baron or baroness. Just those words alone make me key noble gift lances. Maybe an interesting baron or baroness. It kind of depends on her preferences for what she's going to be wanting me to make all the time. So stoneware, zinc, barrel, gems, bolts, crowns. She'd probably be asking for lots of bolts being made. She'd probably ask for crowns being made. Turkeys for their waddle. She prefers to consume harp seal, giant taper cheese, whipped wine, longland flour, and carrot seed. She absolutely detests jumping spiders. I don't know if we'll get to that level of needing on the happiness chart of getting everybody, like, one thing you can do is you can come into preferences. You can look at the food that they like, because if you can make that food specifically and get that food and give it to that person, it gives them a very happy thought. The two here, maybe three here that we could probably achieve would be the whipped wine, the longland flour, and the carrot seeds. Harp seal is going to be really hard because we're not on an ocean area, and giant tapers I don't think we'll have in this region. Maybe magically the elves would bring us a taper, but that one's so kind of harp and tapers, probably won't see them at all. But whip vines and whip wine maybe is a possibility. Longland flour, possibility. Carrot seed, definitely a possibility. So we might use that. She absolutely detests jumping spiders. That's the thing with happiness as well, is if they absolutely detest something, you don't want a whole bunch of those. So let's come down and go ahead and lock this door. Let's go back and look at... Okay, he's on his way to combat training. Still unmet need. we gotta go put that bird. We have a new poult, and it's a pet. And we have a bull, which we are beef. Stray bull, grazer, requires pasture. We're just gonna immediately stop that. Now that one unicorn, when we butchered it apart, came to life. Now, I do have a slight concern with this single stairwell, because when dwarves have to crawl over each other, there goes the bull. The bull is no more. They get mood of let's see if we can. Sometimes you'll see it's just not good for them to crawl over each other, and sometimes you'll see that of unhappiness. So, what do we have here? We have coffers. Let's make another little zone here. And this one, let's go with furniture, all, none. Come down here to thrones. See some chairs. There's a chair sitting here in this one, so we can go here, furniture, and we can turn off thrones. Okay. So I think we also should move the bars. We'll probably need a pretty big spot for bars, I predict. So let's do something like that. And we'll say custom bars and blocks. We're not going to do blocks here, but we're going to do all the bars. All those bars. I forgot to name the thrones pile. Let's come back here. Name this thrones. Then we can go and bars, blocks. We will say none and none. It keeps the bars and blocks in this general area for the metal crafting and for everything that we need. We're just trying to get a little bit better organized. Now, this leather works. What we should do is probably, here comes all the bars, and the coke counts as a bar as well. Let's do something like that. Now, we're gonna probably need some more bins. Then let's go ahead and just so we can see it better, let's do this. This should be a finished good. Is it finished good? Nope, it's a furniture. All, none, boxes. Okay, this is boxes. Do this one, furniture. We already turned off boxes here. Did I already put? Did I not? I did coffers over here. Oh, I did boxes. Not boxes. It's bins. That's what we're doing. Bins. Custom. Bins. Bins. Yay. Custom bins. There we go. Now I can see when I have empty bins or I'm out of bins. We can do the same thing with barrels. All, none, barrels. And we should do the same thing with buckets. Barrels. And got a human poet visiting. Probably here to steal something else. I've had a couple things stolen so far. We probably do need to get a sheriff in place and a little prison going. Okay, let's go ahead and build out. Okay, the unhappiness popped up one, so I'm thinking he got a little happy doing his fighting. So we want something like this. I'm also going to try and do the happiness without. You can use a mist generator to basically. It's not really cheating, but it's just so overpowered. I'm going to try and do it without any. If I were to create a waterfall, that would be fine. In a natural way, but I'm not going to create a mist generator in the normal way that I do it. Okay. Use this some more blocks. We have a new petition. Rosp wishes to reside. Is that human poet? Felt pleasure being near a fine trap. The nice thing is I'll have a poet being able to, like, if I go to skills and I go to knowledge, he has all of this poetry that he's aware of. It's a musical composition, just makes the tavern a little bit more lively. The downside is he's human. His clothing size, see that says large. When his clothes wear out, I have to. Now I usually use the auto tailor anyway, and they make some larges for the humans as well. But just having that awareness that I do have to make large things with my materials that are only used for the humans. Okay, we're going to accept the poet. So we have 22. We just added another 11. We're at population, so we're going to have to build out this other one as well. And we're going to get focusing on all this stuff. I just have a feeling we're going to get sieged or something like that, and we're going to be ill prepared. I need to make up some armor. At least we have people to train in. Probably need to get a bigger full squad. I think we only have like 4 or 5 people. We have the dwarves for a bigger squad now, so we should probably do that. Now we're specializing in maces, because undead, if you use a mace, all of their parts get mashed. And if all their parts get mashed, they can't resurrect. So if like somebody gets a hand chopped off with an axe, that hand could come alive and continue in its zombie form. But if it's smashed with a mace or hammer, you don't have to worry about it as much. So let's we have iron available, so we're gonna make some iron maces. Well, we will trade out. We have the weapon set right now being bronze. We're just gonna, iron will be the easiest for us to get going. We should go ahead and add some more of these extra dwarfs in. So let's toggle the filters. We got a lot of peasants. Now, sometimes it could be better to go and do a little investigation of each one of these and be like, do you have a spouse? Do you have children? What is the military actually going to mean? I'm throwing some people in there right now without the investigation. We have somebody back being unhappy. Okay, so still needs to fight. Throwing more people in to the fray. So maybe they'll get a chance to get rid of that that thought for him. So we're gonna make some. We have to make more coke because we're making all that iron. Now here we want a workshop for clothing, and we want this to be clothes. Now I'd like to probably expand this room out to be the storeroom for cloth and leather. Something like that. Our drinks are coming down, but we should end up, yep, right now, Ineth is making a drink. We should look at our laborers for clothing. Let's have you do clothing. I don't think I have a leather working, but we should add one. Leather working. We don't have anybody that has that particular skill. Recruit. I'd like to get somebody started. Let's see if Sarvesh is actually in the military or not. No, okay. Now we're going to need 350 blocks, so Lots of blocks need to be made. More platinum. We can make some more. Maybe we'll end up making platinum statues. Bituminous too. Wonder how far this platinum goes. Why don't we just auto that? Get those nuggets. Okay, so let's go ahead and build out a storage area here. Custom cloth. Let's just bring all cloth and leather here. Cloth and leather. Then we can remove cloth and leather from here. Trying to get a little bit more organized so they don't have to run all the way across to the main storeroom to get. Yeah, here we have the leather coming in. We're gonna add large pots and food storage into the barrels. And then we're gonna come here and we're gonna furniture, large pots. See these clay pots here? We can get those moved over into the barrels as well. Door. Bed. Chest. Cabinet. Bedrooms. Multis. 3 more bedrooms. And there's just the spin thread is looking for some more. Maybe we need to open up the caverns as well just so that we can start spinning. Okay, so we did get some good platinum nuggies. This is all magnetite. Winter is upon you, okay. Okay, so we're getting a better little pile. I think we do need a kitchen and a food storage. We can do a set here, accept, custom, and this one we want all, none, mechanisms, and we'll take a little musical interlude. I'll keep working. All right. It was too bad that I created that. I forgot to set it here. So I'm going to just set it for everybody. Sometimes you can get weird conflicts with your boots. If you're trying to wear your high boots over your shoes, it can create some problematic. We're getting some different stone colors. That's all right. I'm not specifically asking all the time for rock salt everything's. Blocks. Almost got another row done. Now we have less people doing the smoothing now, so that's going to take a little longer to do, but we might as well get it going. These three will get highly skilled at that. So I'm putting in a dining room over here. I'm putting in a fairly large dining room. Behind the dining room, or maybe behind the dining room, I'm going to put a kitchen and food storage. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do this is my kitchen. What I might want to do is move my aviary down here. And let's make a raw food storage area. I just am thinking for the aviary, if I got egg production going, I'd want the egg production to be close to the kitchen. Floor. I'm putting the floors in where I want to put the doors. We're going to floor in the whole thing. Probably good to take out the walls as well and replace them with real walls. Make happier dwarves. Okay, we don't have anybody here. Lowest we have is mediums. We have 10 mediums, but we just had those migrants come in. A lot of mechanisms. Our mechanism production might be too high. What's nice about separating things out is you have a much better visual understanding of what you have. Other than when things get into chests, then you can make a small storeroom or a small stockpile of like gems. Then you can see, oh, chests of gems. You can't tell how many gems are in those chests, but it's a little bit better. Okay, at least you have that. Let's get them some backpacks for some food, and once we have that leather, yeah, I think we're gonna use that platinum. So let's start making some iron armor as well. So we want some. Well, let's give iron. I need iron helms and iron gauntlets. Just trying to think, because we're gonna probably eat through the iron pretty fast. I'm just trying to think what would be the best things for them to have. Probably the greaves, and then the chainmail shirts. Give them some protection of their nethers, and then the chainmail for their tops. Then we can get some helmets going. Probably kill this one here so they're not dragging stuff into that hidden garbage chute. Okay, build, construction, walls. I'll put some walls in here. Nice thing when you do build like this where you're actually walling in, you can just carve all the way around. Oops, that's not... we'll cancel that one. Looks like I didn't carve that out. But build, construction, floor. Yeah, somebody's getting into a mood. Ineth. There's Ineth. Strange mood. Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Metalworking mood. They're bard visiting. Somebody's back to being unhappy. So I think what happens is we get his fight taken care of, and then he wants to do more fighting. And so he gets that urge, that need back. So we can go ahead and set up. I'm going to do the full room for right now. We may separate it later into more groupings of food. So we don't want prepareds. We want all meat. We want all fish. We do not want unprepared fish if we start fishing. We do want all the plants. We'll probably separate out some plants eventually. We don't. Well, we do want these if we get to the point where we're actually producing those. We don't want seeds. We want the fruit. These are all the dyes and flowers. So I think we just want flour here if we get to that point. We'll go ahead. Lounder fat. Fat and tallow. We can go ahead and store in here. Let's not do that one. We're not going to be making those. Most likely not get any of this. We do want all the milk here. And we'll just leave that alone as well. Okay. Food stuff. Blacksmith has created Romkenar Gurig Aziz, an iron bed. Offers it to the painful earth. So he's going to take that iron bed and he's going to use up a slot in our little bed spot here. You can see that on the graphics it's a little bit different. We'll want to put that on a pedestal somewhere so it's not taking up space here. But we do want people to see it. Maybe in this dining hall once we get that done. How are we doing? Okay. We almost have smoothed. We can put another bed in this last room here. Door. Okay, so we have one more bedroom right here. Okay, they're gonna grab their backpacks loaded up with some food. Looks like we have one trouser already made too. Okay, so let's build workshop, and we want farming, and we want kitchen. We're gonna put 2 in, and we're gonna move these up. And then we're going to put a this is where all of our prepared meals go. So they can come into the dining hall, grab a prepared meal, come out, eat that. Our bedrooms are getting used. This bedroom is getting more used. Sleeping in a great bedroom. Rooms. Okay, they have quarters. That will really help their happiness. Ooh, he's going ballistic now. Okay, so Zazit. I think we need to take Zazit out and see if he can go eat a good meal. Maybe set him to crafting objects. Didn't feel anything after getting into argument. Not easy, extravagant for so long. Okay, so let's take Zazit out of the military. Military doesn't seem to be doing Zazit what I was hoping to do. And maybe we'll throw Ayneth into the military for right now. And we'll keep an eye on Zazit. Always have the unhappy dwarf. That's going to be the bane. Right there is the unhappy dwarfs. We got a second person who is unhappy. The human poet. That one's going to be extra tricky. They're not really a member. I mean, they want to reside here, but it's going to be harder to get the human to be happy. Learn something. We might have to set up a library. Definitely going to need a bigger tavern. Okay, so let's, we have that kitchen here, and what I want to do probably just kill this kitchen. Unicorn hair threads, cow hair threads. These threads can be used for medical, but certain threads cannot. If it's hair threads, it can be used for medical, but not for making cloth out of. A little group of naked warriors training. We can also, let's build furniture. Let's put a second chest in here in the hospital, maybe two more. And then let's actually increase our threads, maybe to 10. Everything else is good here. Okay, so pants are done. So we can just go ahead and equip, update equipment. Everybody go grab their pants. One pair of pants probably hadn't made it back to the storeroom yet. We can get some tops, and then they'll stop. Being naked affects their mood. So let's go ahead and order iron chain, iron mail shirt. There we go. I want 10 of those. That'll give them general protection. We should probably do an auto mine on this magnetite. That's a lot. Yeah, they'll eat right into here. So we'll have to wall in this guild once they mine out all this magnetite. And And that might be a pretty big batch too. So maybe we'll end up using this for more rooms. Speaking of rooms, getting some floors in. Build some doors. Just waiting for the hammer to fall and something bad to happen. Having these fully kitted out rooms should help with the happiness. Probably need more. Let's go look at our tree stock. Okay, we're still okay for trees. Yeah, I was figuring this would be pretty. Oh, there's some coal. Pretty massive iron workings. Okay, since we created that one, let's go ahead and say food. No. 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 Oh. No. 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 None. 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 Might as well. Yeah, let's just do this. You have the lavish meals. We should do the pigtails. Let's go look at the laborers and the kitchen use of what these pigtails are being used for, because we should probably, they're being used for drink. Let's just turn that off. We have 108 pigtails. Rope reeds we want as well. We want to make, we could process those into cloth. So what we'll want to do build a second farmer station. Can we? Okay. So these farmer stations will turn off plant processing. Daryl has become the sheriff of something something, but I can't see what it is because I'm in this workshop, but I have to. Cyril became a militia commander. Okay. There we go. Cyril Guiltbands has appointed position as sheriff of the vestibule of smokes. Spring has arrived. We'll go ahead and do this one as well. This way we can put a plant processor down kind of near the kitchen. Just keep all the plants in one area. Not have to be going running up and down these stairs all the time. Okay, so now we will change this one. Turn off plant processing here. We'll probably eventually, we can probably turn off paper making here as well. Milking, shearing, spinning. We'll probably spin somewhere else as well, but so now let's actually make a slightly bigger kitchen. I think, methinks. Just so I can get a farmer station. Oh, that's awful. Farmer station back in here. A lot of magnetite. What do we have there? Oh, limonite. Okay. Okay, we have some elves coming in for a trade. One of these times they're going to come in and there's going to be a cloud and they're going to turn into evil elves. So we can unlock this door and we'll go ahead and bring our coins and our gems, our coins. A cage with an animal. We'll see what type of animal that is here. They are ready to trade. Broker requested. Trading at the depot. Get your naked ass up here. And let's trade. Okay. What did you bring? You brought me another loon, but this female loon. Help with our egg production and a kawadi. I think we want the cages and the loon. Use some more of your barrels. We have enough buckets. All these wooden swords, wooden weapons, wooden willow mail shirt. No. We do have shoes. Could give us some new shoes. Socks. Could help with our chest production. We're doing okay for food. They just want to bring us a ton of nuts. There is the fruits and peaches for making boozy drinks with. Maybe we'll grab some. It'll just be overkill for food. We'll leave it. We'll leave it be. Take your trousers. Okay. We got some coins. So, put our loon. Aviary. So now we have two female loons. If we get a male loon, let's adjust this a little bit down. That turkey's standing in the doorway, just holding the door open. So I'm gonna move that back just a notch. The elves will eventually get angry at us for the trees because we're doing horrible things to their trees. Okay, so let's build construction wall. Okay, so this storeroom is looking a little bit better now that we're moving stuff out. Still need blocks, ammo. Ooh, somebody has been outside. Nauseated by the sun. Some indoor, some cave adaptation. Spend some time cleaning. How are we looking here? Ooh. Can throw in some doors. Throw in some beds. And get a new migration where we'll need more bedrooms. And we'll be all focused on this, and then something bad is gonna happen. I feel it in my bones. Bedroom. Bedrooms. How is there a magnetite mine going? Wow. So we should go ahead, clean this one up a little bit as well. Make a real room here for this guild hall. We should get all those juicy gems that are there. Probably just go ahead and do that. Limonite, hematite. Auto those gems. Nope, this wall, is that just meh, it's all toothy. Okay, so let's build workshop, farming. We want a farmer station here. Give them lots of doors. Okay, so we're running out of rocks because our miners were just mining metal this entire time, and we need more rocks. Now there's kaolinite down here, but there's rock salt here, so let's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Need that. We'll do the next one too, so a 9. Migrants. Yep, just like I said, we're gonna get some bedrooms in, and as soon as we get some bedrooms in, a tier, a miner. Okay, well, you're a miner, you're gonna go mine. She never feels hatred towards anyone or anything. She dislikes obligation and will try to avoid being bound by obligations, plural, and will try to avoid being bound by them. Though she values the concept of loyalty and is troubled by her natural tendencies, she is greatly moved by art and natural beauty. She's troubled by this since she dislikes the natural world. She has an active sense of humor. She doesn't often feel envious of others. She could be considered rude. She is pleased by her own appearance and talents. She tends to think before acting. She is assertive. She doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in the day-to-day living. She occasionally overindulges, generally acts with a narrow focus on current activity. The amount of practice that goes into mastering a skill is so impressive. Glassmaker. I like glass. She's consumed by overpowering feelings of jealousy. Very slow to anger. Prone to strong feelings of lust. She prefers that everyone live in as harmoniously as possible. She doesn't cling tightly to ideas, is open to changing her mind. She is quite ambitious. She tends to avoid any physical confrontations. She works to square this natural tendency with a respect for martial prowess. I avoid physical confrontations by being trained in physical confrontations. She's a friendly individual. She's often cheerful. She has a great greedy streak. She has a little interest in joking around. She thinks she is fairly important in the grand scheme of things. She doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges. I was going to say, are we going to get a small migration this time? Nope. Nope, we're not. Pump operator, Lycott. Always tense and jittery. He actively avoids exciting or stressful situations. Generally unhindered by the thoughts of others concerning his actions. He's brave in the face of imminent danger. He has a sense of duty. He tends to avoid crowds. He does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. He prefers that everyone live as harmoniously as possible. He often acts with compassion. Occasionally overindulges. He is grateful when others help him out and tries to return favors. He can easily fall in love or develop positive sentiment. He has a greedy streak. He doesn't handle stress well. Das Tot, accomplished clothier. Do you have dreams? Tell me a story. He's frequently depressed. Well, that's lovely. He actively avoids exciting or stressful situations. He's an optimist. He likes to present himself boldly, even if it would offend his average sense of modesty. He's always tense and jittery. He rarely looks at others with lust. He has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others. He is pleased by his own appearance and talents. He tends to not be swayed by emotional appeals, generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. He has an active imagination. He's somewhat quarrelsome, and he's bothered by this since he values friendship. He occasionally overindulges. He often feels envious of others, and he has a greedy streak. He runs his fingers through his hair when he's trying to remember something. And he's bald from trying to remember too much. I think he's taken too much time trying to remember things. Onal. Onal is a cheesemaker. It's such a joy to be with people. Let's see if your personality agrees with that. She never feels lustful passion. She's prone to hatred and often develops negative feelings. She is very trusting. She is slow to anger. She enjoys the company of others. She's stubborn. She doesn't mind wearing something special now and again. She doesn't focus on material goods. She rarely feels discouraged. She has an active sense of humor. She doesn't cling tightly to the ideas and is open to changing her mind. She doesn't tend to hold on to grievances. She tends to share her own experiences and thoughts with others. She tends to assume the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She can sometimes act without deliberation. She keeps her voice very quiet when she is nervous. Sometimes I think I need a drink, but I can control myself. Well, acknowledging is the first step. She dislikes abstract discussions and let's just skip to, she needs alcohol to get through the working day. But I can stop whenever I want to. High Master Engraver. Okay, this is what we needed, because this is our mood control right here. We're going to go and engrave all those bedrooms. And we needed somebody with the skill to do that. because we want everybody to be like, oh, my room is awesome. So we're going to put Tikud to work. Let's go ahead and assign you right now to engraving. We'll set an Engraver's Guild Hall as well, so that you can start teaching people. Greatly moved by art and natural beauty. Great for an engraver. He's troubled by this because he dislikes the natural world. He's curious and eager to learn. Doesn't focus on material goods. Generally acts with narrow focus on current activity. Tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. He is pleased by his own appearance and talents. He is assertive. Well, you are going to be put to high use. Adequate stonecrafter, Onal. It's great when we all get a chance to be merry together. You're going to be hanging out in the bar a lot. She tends to assume the worst of two outcomes. Yep. She will not particularly be interested in what others think of her. She's quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance of culture. She doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges. She's a little interested in joking around. Generally quite confident in her abilities and understanding specific ventures. Tends to be a little tight with the resources when working on projects. Tends to be swayed by the emotions of others. She's often nervous. She has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others. Ilral is a peasant. I've been all right. It seems like the peasants are always like, I'm all right. She does not find most jokes humorous. Well, that's a sad, sad life. She dislikes helping others. She's grounded in reality. She's somewhat quarrelsome. She's bothered by this and she values friendship. She is assertive. She does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She's often cheerful. She doesn't often feel envious of others. She's quite ambitious. Generally acts impartially and is rarely moved to mercy. She is slow to trust others. Edom, another peasant. Trade is the lifeblood of a thriving society. He's vengeful and never forgets or forgives past grievances. Well, that's very friendly and always tries to say nice things to others. But if you diss him in any way, he will remember that forever. He does not try and get things done perfectly. He occasionally overindulges, somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. Occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand. He could be considered rude. He doesn't seek out excitement. He often acts with compassion. Tends to be a bit of stubborn in changing his mind about things. See, now that, He takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful. Tends to avoid crowds. Does not often feel lustful. Generally quite confident in his abilities when undertaking specific ventures. Not particularly interested in what others think of him. Ilral, a glassmaker. We should all work together. Greatly moved by art and natural beauty, troubled by this since she dislikes the natural world. She finds a chaotic mess preferable to the boredom of harmonious living. We should all get along, but chaotic mess is preferable. She is a perfectionist, but chaotic mess is preferable. She is often nervous. She likes a little excitement now and then. She has a tendency towards forming deep emotional bonds with others. She tends to think before acting. She doesn't tend to hold on to grievances. She has a noticeable lack of perseverance. She tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things. Now we're just getting stubborn people. She is trusting. She occasionally overindulges. She tends to be a little tight with resources, working on projects. Assertive, can handle stress. Some more birds. Where are we gonna end up? Gonna need more rooms. Adequate siege engineer and a novice planter. Izum, she revels in chaos and discord, and she encourages it whenever possible. Not often feel lustful. She finds obligations confining, though she is conflicted by this for more than one reason. What are those reasons? I'd like to know. She tends not to reveal personal information. She's quite comfortable with others that have different appearances or culture. She can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand. She tries to keep her things orderly. She does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and she's conflicted by this as she values artwork and its creation. So she likes art, but doesn't have aesthetic sense. She tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. She's a friendly individual. Tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects. Not particularly interested in what others think of her. Can sometimes act without deliberation. Has a greedy streak. Occasionally overindulges. I think I'm going to have to go and write one of these up for myself. Some people are so wrapped up in themselves. Maybe I shouldn't write one of these for myself. She's prone to strong feelings of lust. It's like she heard me on saying I need to write one of these for myself. Yeah. She lacks confidence in her abilities. She takes no pleasure in her talents or in appearance. She has a sense of duty. She tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects. She thinks she's fairly important in the grand scheme of things. She doesn't mind a little tumult and discord. She doesn't try to get things done perfectly. She occasionally overindulges. She tends to think before acting. She's somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently than herself. Talented wound dresser, diagnostician. Everything's good. Well, you're going to be working in the hospital, so she's always in love with somebody and easily develops positive feelings. She can be very happy and optimistic. She's not a private person and freely shares details in her life. She struggles against this tendency as she finds such open expression offensive. She is generally quite confident in her abilities when undertaking specific ventures. She's not inherently proud of her talents and accomplishments. She tends to be a little tight with resources and working on projects. She rarely feels discouraged. She tries to keep her things orderly. She thinks she's fairly important in the grand scheme of things. She is assertive. She tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things. She's quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. She likes a little excitement now and then. She doesn't often feel envious of others. She does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She is quick to anger. She has a greedy streak. She doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges. She tends to assume the worst of two outcomes will come to pass. I need to assign you to the medical, talented bone doctor, wound dresser, organizer. Be happy. Edom is greatly pleased by her own looks and accomplishments. She's generally quite overconfident. Disdains law, poor memory, values peace, vain, recovers quickly, values self-control. Okay, vain. There's the vanity. She tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. She is assertive. She is often cheerful. She tries to do things correctly each time. She tends to avoid any physical confrontations. She works to square this natural tendency with her respective martial prowess. She lives a fast-paced life. She has a greedy streak. She has a noticeable lack of perseverance. She has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. She's quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. She doesn't seek out excitement. Accomplished wound dresser. Wow, it's just the doctors are coming in. They're all coming in. She's a nervous wreck. She can easily fall in love or develop positive sentiment. That's always a great combination, be a nervous wreck and fall in love easily. She likes to brawl. Well, I guess that's a part of falling in love easily. She often feels lustful. Wow. She's generally quite confident in her abilities when undertaking specific ventures. She likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract. She prefers to present herself modestly. She's not inherently proud of her talents and accomplishments. She tries to do things correctly each time. She likes to take it easy. She is quick to anger. She has a greedy streak. She tends not to be swayed by emotional appeals. She's not particularly interested in what others think about her. She is slow to trust others. They just keep coming. Zazet, the animal trainer. She's not the type to fall in love. Do I have like a mostly female Dwarf Fortress right now? She finds helping others very emotionally rewarding. She can get caught up in the internal deliberations when action is necessary. She doesn't seek out excitement. She can handle stress. She is somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. She thinks she is fairly important in the grand scheme of things. She has a calm demeanor. She is trusting. She often feels envious of others. She generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She has a greedy streak. She is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or different from herself. 1 second while I have these protein drinks every morning. They settle. Let me just shake up my drink. Apologies for the sloshing sound. Lovely. There's so many animals coming in with this batch too. Dobar, novice weaver, novice suturer. He would never pass up a chance for a good fist fight. Okay. He has a strong tendency towards privacy. He's inattentive to detail in his own work. He's very humble. He generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. Slow to trust others. He finds helping others emotionally rewarding. Generally quite confident in his abilities. When undertaking specific ventures, doesn't often feel envious of others. Tendency towards forming deep emotional bonds with others. Tends to be passive in discussions. What do you... Developed empathy, high willpower, high stamina. Brawler. Everything is so much easier when you just tell the truth. Amos is a leather worker. Let's go ahead and put you on leather working duties then. She is completely careless with resources when completing projects and invariably wastes a lot of time and effort. Should she be working in leatherworking? She's very ambitious, always looking for a way to better her situation. She is a perfectionist. Okay, maybe she should be working in leather. She's not readily moved by art or natural beauty. She's conflicted by this as she values artwork and its creation, strongly prefers discussions of ideas and abstract concepts over handling specific practical issues. She tends to make a small mess with her own possessions. She tends not to reveal personal information. She often acts with compassion. She tends to assume the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She isn't particularly curious about the world. She tends to be passive in discussions. Okay, that was a batch. Let's go. Do we have any birds? Yep, we got a keet. Okay. We have another dog. We have a nanny goat. To go with our billy goat. Okay. And a goat kid. And some mule hamburger. And a bunny. And some water buffalo hamburger. And a pup. Got some livestock. Excuse me. Water buffalo. Mule. We're gonna geld this bunny. We don't have any female bunnies right now, but we're not gonna take any chances, and we don't want a whole out of control. I think we'll start getting some baby goats. Okay, get some regular rock stone. Start building some blocks again. Yep, definitely need the wheelbarrows. hard stone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who are you fighting with? I'm betting you're fighting with... Okay, so that hoof came alive. Are we just getting hit in the head with them? I don't know. It may be... It may be how I'm having this dumping occur here, where I'm dumping into this pit and people are in the pit. That might be the problem. Why are you in the pit? Let's just put a hatch over that. Let's make a hatch. In fact, let's make 4 hatches. So what I'm thinking is we're dumping stuff in here from this trash pile that is stuff that we're going to use for something else, like that. Just ran in, tanning the hide, but is being dumped on at the same time, and the hoof is hitting them on the head or the arm or getting them wounded because they're being dumped on. Pretty sure that's the problem. So I'm going to cancel this, and I am going to just put a floor right there and just have this be a pile not on the next level down. And then we're going to move this up. The musical hall has many members. That requires a guild hall. Craft Dwarf Guild. I think maybe we have here magnetite, limonite, jasper. We have that magnetite floor there as well. We're getting a bit of a... Let's go ahead and make this into our guild area. So I think we can go ahead. "44 rooms, 57 population." We're barely getting our rooms done by the time. Fortunately, we do have this sleeping area here. We also wanted to assign some more So what we should do is something like that. Give us better pathing, because right now we're just getting over here through this little gap here. Barely keeping up with the happiness here. I'd like to get more happiness. I'm not gonna... The human poet might have been a bad choice. Could put the human poet on plant gathering. So there was a need here to wander. That will get them outdoors to wander around and grab some plants. I'm gonna just leave a bucket of water sitting in the middle of the hallway for no reason whatsoever. We can take the kitchen floor and smooth that out. Smooth out this floor as well. And we can change this one to only do plant processing. Then should be process plants. Let's focus this one on only taking from here foodstuffs. Okay. Let's do 4. Let's do that. I didn't specify what type of plants. I'm gonna just process all the plants that I can process into 2 things. So we'll want a mad floor in here. That Kalenite. Okay, we have this path up here. So I think this is where we're gonna start maybe building the guild halls as well. Yeah, that's fine. What's going on? Gray Squirrel Woman. Rusher bashes Gray Squirrel Woman in the lower body with his iron mace. Attacks the wrestler. Okay, the door's unlocked to the gate. Gray Squirrel came in. With squirrel people. Creatures, other. Okay, we have Gray Squirrel Woman. Gray Squirrel Man. Right outside the door. We're chasing him down. We're getting close to the water. One squirrel's down. Still chasing. Fell into the river, or fell into the pond. That gave the squirrel a chance to run away. Back on the hunt. Okay, that squirrel's dead. Go check out the hospital, see if anybody is in the hospital for any reason. We should probably put some beds. More beds. Just in case we need them. And we should place an order. Let's see. Let's go do an equip. Update equipment. One missing pair of pants. Armor. Where are these male shirts? Don't tell me. Okay, you're wearing an iron mesh. Okay. Let's go ahead and order iron high boots. Forge a pair of iron high boots. Oh, yeah, it won't show here until we have we have the 2 layers. That is right. It's now summertime. Yeah, we created a loop of fantastic little loop. View stockpile. Remove stockpile. New stockpile. Everybody's busy running through this loop real quick of refuse and corpses. There we go. Yep, everybody's got their shirts on and their pants on. Are you a squirrel? Nope, you're just a regular squirrel. Lots of vomit on the ground. Okay. So I think we have a lot more work to do. I'm going to call this episode. We need to get more bedrooms built. Takes a lot longer to build out these bedrooms when we're actually building them out rather than just carving. But this is a good light. Helps with the happiness having walls that are actual stone walls, stone floors constructed. We do need to start engraving all of this. That may help. It's pretty challenging to get everybody to be happy. Try and min-max that, but we'll get this kitchen finished. This dining hall finished. The kitchen's finished. Let's just drop a door in here while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and build out in the next episode. We'll build out some guild halls back here, at least the one that we need. But this will be our guild hall area, path to the guild halls. I think we're doing all right. It's going fairly smoother than I was anticipating. Thought this area would be a little tougher on me, but maybe because I moved over into the Joyous Wilds instead of putting myself right in the middle of getting hit by a rainstorm. Maybe that was just a poor decision on my part. Also, I think if I had selected and got like a Necromancer's Tower near us, that would have been more trouble. But even without the trouble, we're still having a hard time getting people's happiness up. So, yeah, I think we'll call it, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.